The riot is back.
Yay! Forget that 4th of July vacation nonsense.
Oh my gosh. Freedom, hot dogs, who
Days
needs
off.
them?
That is so last week.
Yeah, I mean, I got up this morning. It was about 20 after 4, and I was just like, man, finally, right?
Yay!
Right.
Oh, I never told you. Do you know what I have to do tomorrow morning before the show? Take someone to the airport.
That's what I did last week.
I know, exactly. It's
That's what I did last week.
I think I'll have to go at like 4:30, 5 in the morning.
And you know what? It was a Tuesday morning, yes. And I also dropped someone off at the airport. It was 20 till 5.
This is going to be a really good week for the riot. We feel it. We know it.
Man, because last Tuesday we came here, and then we went to the movies.
We had a great last...
It's a long Tuesday.
That was a great last week, wasn't it? Oh, no. We're back. This is fine.
And focused.
And we weren't alone during this podcast. Dens came in studio to hang out with us, which super nice guys, really great EP. You'll learn more about them and the project, which you can find through shop.radiou.com.
We also talk about some of what we did on our break. We talk about Dance Dance Revolution. There's actually, if you're interested in seeing me play DDR, we went ahead and did an Obadiah Plays kind of throwback edition. You can find that both on the Riot page at riot.radiou.com and on our Facebook page. What else is there? We talk about the 25-year-old basketball player. We read
an update on him.
We got stuff on Ant-Man and the Wasp, alarm clock problems, peanut butter jar problems.
All the good stuff.
Those are a little too close together. Should have spaced those out a little bit. And then, as Nikki mentioned, Dens.
Yeah, so nice to have them in. Any interviews that you might miss out, they are up through riot.radiou.com, or if it's easier, just subscribe to Radio U Riot on our YouTube channel, and we post interviews there too.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful whatever this is.
We missed you guys.
And thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the podcast. Bye.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the riot.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki's already working on her excuse to get out of work early today.
Yay!
She came in sick.
Well, I just have a bit of a small, summer cold. And I like how when you say summer, it makes it okay for it being weird that you have a cold.
I actually think summer colds are kind of the worst.
They're just so odd. You're like, why do I have this?
You feel like with warm weather, you shouldn't be sick. Instead, that's for when it gets damp and cold.
And just winter-like. But I suspect, because during the 4th of July, around those couple of days, my allergies are really bothering me.
Yes.
And it was either allergies brought on this, or it was never allergies, and it was just the start of a cold. So we shall see, but I'm here and I feel fine. I just every so often will clear my throat or sneeze.
You know, Nikki, you're doing it wrong, but okay.
I should have taken advantage.
I'm not saying that maybe you don't come in today, but I think I'm going to say about the halfway point in the show, you start to play it up a little bit.
Where I feel like I'm going the other way. I'm going downhill.
I'm just not feeling really good. And then that way, when the show's over, you can go upstairs, you make a showing of being present.
Sure.
And, check in and stuff. And then if I were you, you sit at your desk and then you close the door and do a lot of loud coughing.
That's good. Well, you'll still hear me through the door.
Yeah. And then after a while, you just say, you know what, I just can't.
And I just have to take a lot of trips to the bathroom area upstairs.
Coughing
that we have
as you walk to the bathroom.
So they're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. And there's the water fountain there. That way I'm clearing my throat and coughing.
Yeah.
It is a plan, but I could do it.
I mean, then again, you sit between two people that they sound like death, and they just sit in their offices all day.
Yeah,
it's
they make it hard.
So, but I'm just telling you, I know we've come back from time off, but this would be a great chance for you to ease into it.
Yeah, I don't want to be here the whole day.
No. I mean, certainly.
I don't think I should be.
It's not.
How am I going to make it the whole week?
Well, and it's not responsible because you could be giving it to other people.
That's true.
So I think the clear choice, Nikki, is for you to
be safe, and I should start planning my departure from Radio U earlier today.
I like the word safe.
Yeah.
Safe for you and safe for others.
We did miss you guys so much, though. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July and a good couple of days last week if you had off.
Yeah. I know some people did and some people didn't. And you know what? That's okay.
Wherever you fit in that, that's fine.
Yeah, so we took a little time off. It was good. It was good to... I think the thing I enjoyed the most was I did not look at the news at
Did
all
you get to take a break?
for 4 days.
Well, maybe you should talk about that in a second of what you were planning on taking a little bit of a social media news breather, because that's good for someone to plan every so often.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking.
Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
So, yes, we are back. And as Nikki said, I took a total break. Not from the entire internet.
Sure.
But a pretty significant, like, no social media. I was off Facebook. I think it seems like I might have posted something on July 4th. And then I was like, no. I'm not even posting. Like,
well,
you can't
there's a difference also between sometimes during a break you can post, but you're just not scrolling through your feed every second of the day.
Yeah. Well, my thought was, I literally was like, you know what? You're not even allowed to have an audience right now. No audience. Like, you can't share anything. You just gotta stay out. So, like, no Facebook, no Twitter. And let me tell you what, that is not easy. When you are used to scrolling and you stop
filling the time by scrolling.
Yeah, that was not easy to not just pull that up for a scroll, because you're like, well, you know what? I got 2 minutes to kill here. I'll scroll for a while. No scrolling.
It's worth doing every so often.
It did me a ton of good. The other thing I did, and this is like borderline addiction, is for the show, the way that Nikki and I just kind of keep up on everything. I've got an app that I use that feeds me everything. And it's actually called Feedly.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And I didn't delete it from my devices, but I did take it off the main page. So, like, my home screen on my phone and on my tablet, no Feedly. And so I was like, no Feedly, not until yesterday was I allowed to check Feedly. And
so now you're like, I missed all this stuff.
You know what? The funny thing about it is I know I should feel like I missed out.
You'll have all these fresh news stories to you today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, did you guys know that Justin Bieber got engaged?
Like, you would have missed out if you would have kept going with your social media break.
Can you believe that? Oh, my gosh. I have pictures right now of Haley Baldwin's engagement ring. But, I mean, I should be in here telling you I missed it. Once I got through the habit of it, I didn't miss the voices.
Sure.
Like, so many things to pay attention to and think through. Even the whole idea of looking at the news. You know, we read hundreds, probably well over 1,000 headlines a day. I did not miss those headlines. And I didn't hear anything about Kim Kardashian until yesterday at like 3 o'clock.
That was a nice break, too.
I went like 4 or 5 days with no Kardashian news. Amazing.
Well, you really did have a good few days off.
It was not like, it's such a habit and it's so ingrained that it was not easy. But man, I was glad. And when I started up with it yesterday, I was like, oh,
there it is. You're back to work.
Here we go.
And we do have to use it for work. You do have to stay up on things, but
it's the job.
Yeah.
But man, it was nice to take of all the things I took a break from, that and getting up early.
I think that was probably the most important one.
I slept. It took me a day or two, but I was sleeping until 8:30, 9 o'clock.
That sounds lovely.
And remember, for us, that's like sleeping until noon.
Maybe even like 1 or 2-ish.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Check out Radio U on Facebook and our Radio U Riot page, because yesterday someone played a little old school DDR for an Obadiah Plays, so you can watch that there.
Yes, I did. I had some trouble with that.
I did not like the game when I played. I just felt like I couldn't get it compared to we used to be pretty good at DDR back in the day.
The problem I was having yesterday was, of course, it's on the Xbox 360 and I was streaming it. So, I plug my Xbox into, I've got an Elgato capture card.
Yeah.
So it goes into the capture card and then it went out from there to my receiver and then into my TV. And so it's funny, like at each step, you're getting just a little bit more of a delay,
as it goes.
So, right. And so it finally got down to the point where the music and the arrows were not in time when I was playing.
Which is how you play it.
That's how you play. And so I was there just trying to find the timing with the arrows. It it was a little mind-blowing. And so you already have that issue with like newer TVs, like LCD, LED TVs. And I don't know if the game has this, but I know with Rock Band and Guitar Hero, they had a timing thing where you could go in and adjust the delay so that you could get the timing correct.
Sure.
I could have taken the time to look at that yesterday, but I didn't because I didn't want to spend a ton of time on it. So I did stream.
So what you get is what you get.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I streamed for about 45 minutes, and towards the end, it was getting complicated, and I was like, all right, look.
We're done.
Come on. But that's the other thing, too, that's hard, is with those dance pads, they're slick, and they're on the floor. And I mean, back in the day when people were way into it, like, you would mod out your dance pads. So you would take it and, like, literally tack it down to, like, wood, or some people would spend big money on, like, metal dance pads. Like, it was a thing. But in this particular case,
it was sliding.
I just went with what I had. So,
well, it's up if you want to watch it again on both of our Facebook pages.
I got frustrated with it more than once. And I know that some of it was the delay. Some of it was just that feeling of my brain and my feet not connecting.
Sure.
Where it was like, hey, wait, no, your foot over here. Like, no. Yeah, it was fun. The other thing, too, is I missed a lot of the classic songs that I liked.
It's not the same. We played it's this old school, what was their names? From Pennsylvania. They sent us their game and their dance pads for us to play. And
Jason and Jennifer.
We're sending it back to them, and this is the Xbox one. We must have played another game version back in the day.
We had it for the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
And so those are classic DDR songs, and you're not getting those with this.
No, this was for the Xbox 360. And to be clear, we very much appreciate them sending it to us because it was a lot of fun. And it also, I'll tell you what it did.
I know what you're going to say.
It took care of it.
Yes, it did! Because we were going to buy like our own dance pad and our own copies, and it's very expensive. And now after playing, we're like, no, I don't need to play anymore.
I'm good.
It took care of it.
I'm good. Like,
I'm fine.
That had its time. It's past.
I know, and thankfully we didn't have to spend any money on that.
Yeah, but hey, if you want to catch it, riot.radiou.com, or you can also see it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RadioU. I'm dancing.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Tacoma, Washington. I've been there before. Been to the great state of Washington. I've been to Tacoma. I've been to a Starbucks in Tacoma. I've never delivered a baby at a Starbucks in Tacoma.
So how can we relate to this article?
But it definitely happened. There was a 24-hour drive-through Starbucks just off of South 72nd Street in Tacoma. It was about 1 a.m. where there was a frantic knock at the drive-through window, and the woman opened the window.
The lady walked up to it?
No, there was a guy there.
Oh.
It was like, hey, you got to call an ambulance. This woman's having a baby. And so the girl that was working there, she ran outside with towels and water.
Way to go on that. She knew what to do.
And they also called for an ambulance. So she ran out there, and this is crazy. She was laying on the grassy slope outside the store. She helped the woman get her pants off. No lie. Delivered the baby like out on these Starbucks spread out towels.
Really?
On the grass outside of a Starbucks. I'm not overly familiar with the process, but like, don't you have a little more warning than like
not
I had
always.
to pull over at the Starbucks?
Not always. And this lady might not have known.
Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, our guy, we used to have a friend that worked at Panda Express. He said, I always remember this because he said his wife, their third baby, he said she walked in and was like, hey, I'm having the baby now. And
that was no lie.
He said it was, he's not from Korea. He was from an island off Korea. But their tradition was when a woman is giving birth, you make her a rice ball. And so he got up and began preparing the rice ball. And she was like, now! And she had the baby in the parking lot of the hospital.
The hospital?
Yeah. Well,
Starbucks is just happy for some good stuff.
Yeah, no, this is actually...
Starbucks is like, yes!
So she technically broke store policy by leaving the store to go outside and help, but a Starbucks spokesperson issued the following statement. We're proud of Rochelle for her quick thinking and actions until additional help could arrive, and appreciate their quick response as well.
And again, the PR department was just thankful that the press thing that they got to send out from this was a good thing.
It's like, instead, she kicked her off the Starbucks property and said she's not allowed to give birth here.
It wasn't anything like that. It was
like
just
that.
fine. It was
You're
great.
wondering, Miss, you can't give birth here unless you buy a drink.
Not allowed to.
So it's a good thing they changed that policy.
Well, congratulations to the lady and to the baby.
Yeah, so she went and visited the woman and the baby later that day at the hospital. Everybody seems to be doing fine.
No details on the name? Like, did she name it like Venti or Trenta or...
I think
No?
I think Venti actually works as a first name.
I think so. I think it could.
So-
And then you always have that story of like, well, I was born at the Starbucks.
I was born at Starbucks, and ever since then, I'm always drinking coffee.
Or if I was in PR, I'd been like, listen, the baby gets free coffee for life once the baby reaches an age of coffee.
Well, the good news is, I mean, this was it Friday at 1 a.m. or Saturday at 1 a.m.? I'm looking
There's still time
here.
for them to add that on.
All right. Okay, so it was, well, that's what I was going to say is like maybe, PR hasn't had a chance to look at it. I definitely would do that. But then again, Starbucks is like, why give her coffee for life when she can pay $8 a cup for life? Come on.
That's more like it.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp over the weekend, and so did a lot of other people.
That's one thing I did not look at all yesterday. What was the movie box office results?
Well, I'm pulling it up right now, Nikki. I can tell you here in the United States, Ant-Man and the Wasp made $76 million.
Now, that seems like way more than I think a movie with an Ant-Man and a Wasp would make. But is that what they projected, or were they disappointed or happy with that?
You know what? It's better than the original Ant-Man did.
Well, that's a bonus then.
The original Ant-Man came out in 2015. I can't believe that was 3 years ago. But it only made $57 million when it premiered in 2015. So this is better.
This is a step up, which is what they wanted.
And it ended up being number one. It also made its worldwide opening $161 million. So it seems like they're probably pretty happy with that. Beat out The Incredibles, keeping in mind that they're from the same company.
So either way, that company is extremely excited.
They're doing just fine. So they made, let's see, The Incredibles 2 stayed at $29 million. It has made, just in the United States alone, $504 million.
Worldwide, it is the fourth largest release for 2018. So Incredibles 2 worldwide has done over $772 million.
So they're doing okay.
Everybody, again, is perfectly happy.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Perfectly happy.
I did not like Ant-Man very much, but Ant-Man and the Wasp was fantastic.
You did like it?
I really enjoyed it. I really did. I mean, it's
you
not...
used your movie pass.
I didn't.
Oh.
Someone bought me a ticket.
Someone did?
They did. They were like, hey.
You just can't win with your movie pass.
I know. I still haven't used it.
He's just not using it.
I haven't. I haven't used it in a while. Like, I paid to go see Sicario 2, and someone bought me a ticket to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I gotta get to the movies with this thing. I'm supposed to go and... Not today, but maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. I don't know. But I'm going to go see Jurassic World this week.
And that's an older one, and you don't need to pre-get your seats.
Nope, it's fine. So I'll movie pass for that. But yeah, Ant-Man, it did all right. And there was one moment where I was just like, all right, guys, I know that obviously this movie about a shrinking and growing man, and like, I get it. Like, it's not all going to make sense. But there was one moment where I was like, all right, this is all a little too convenient. It's just a little too, like, this is the one part where I'm like, all right, guys, come on, whatever. So that being said, I liked it.
That was good.
Yeah, I liked it. And it was funny, but not too funny. You know what I mean? And they're going for like, it's not that funny.
You're a great movie reviewer.
Just like, it was right. It's just right in the sweet spot.
Like, you get what we're saying, all right? It wasn't too much.
Yeah,
Again, it's hard to make a Ant-Man and a Wasp movie believable.
Yeah, and I thought the action scenes were
good?
Oh, they were fantastic. Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp, great character. She did a great job with that. Like, I just overall really enjoyed that in a way that was like, it was way better than the first one. So if you didn't like the first one, you might still be okay. Because I've only seen the first one one time.
Sure.
I can't even get myself to watch it again because I was like, nah.
Well, maybe
I don't
now
want
you
to.
should go back. Would you be more forgiving with it?
I might. I might enjoy it more in light of this movie. What are you doing later?
Oh, I have no interest.
Well, yeah, but what if
you
you like it more this time?
Get you ready and get, you could get the movie for you, make some popcorn for you.
But the thing is, like, it would be perfect for us, Nikki, because we could cosplay as Ant-Man and the Wasp. So it would finally be our chance. Like, it'd be a great trip to the movies for us.
Let's save that for Halloween. We'll save that for later.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we've got to have options, and we've only got 5 months to prepare.
So we got to get ready.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
But they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
We're taking drugs now.
Woo! Now the week has started.
So I want to see what you brought. Ooh, look at you, big spender.
Why?
That's some name brand Advil. That's not the store brand.
Actually, to be honest, Eric has purchased this a while ago. So this is all that was in my little medicine basket. Mm-hmm. But we're having Advil, sinus, congestion, and pain.
Here, let me see the box.
Yay!
Okay. All right, so what do we got here? Ibuprofen, that's a pain reliever, fever reducer.
And I do well with Advil. I like Advil.
And NSAID, do you know what that is?
Not safe.
Not safe, no. Non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug, I think it is. And then phenylephrine. Now, that is not the pseudoephedrine.
This one's this won't make you, lose it.
No, this one actually makes me weirder.
Does it?
It makes me weirder.
Don't tell me that.
Oh, yeah, but you never are.
Actually,
You're
I'm always fine.
He's like, I'm taking drugs, and, I'm a functional
First off,
Advilaholic.
No, I feel like you need to put more context to that. Usually it's over-the-counter, a cold and sinus drug.
But it's a drug.
Yeah, but it's
not. So
not.
you're taking drugs.
Okay.
What?
No, it's fine.
Nikki's on drugs.
Drugs, I just have a little summer cold.
This is a technically true statement.
And I keep sneezing.
Okay, let's see here. Let's look at some of the warnings, okay?
Will you stop it? I don't want to hear the warnings.
All right, listen. You should stop taking it if you have hives.
Yeah.
Facial swelling. No, you always look like that. Asthma.
Oh, it's good to come back. It is good to come back.
Shock. What shock?
And all, you're just...
No,
you're amazed.
Let's see.
I think it means if your body goes into shock.
Man, okay, let's take a look at what some of the signs of shock are.
Will you stop reading this? Stop reading
Nikki,
it.
I want you to be educated about what you're putting in your body.
I already took it. It's too late.
No, but now you need to know what to be on the lookout for.
Oh my gosh.
Enlarged pupils, dizziness, rapid pulse, rapid breathing, nausea or vomiting, pale or ashen skin.
It's really hard to
cool,
be able to
skin.
distinguish between because it's a Monday and who doesn't feel some of this stuff anyways?
Okay, here's what I love. You should be worried if your skin is pale or if your skin is reddening.
Well, what makes normal then?
What is normal?
What is the normal?
Rash.
Yeah.
Do you have a rash?
No, I don't have a rash anymore.
Yet?
No.
Anymore?
Remember from last week when I was doing the stuff from
that's right,
creation? Something was on that tub.
Blisters?
No.
Okay, so all right. Well, we haven't seen any allergic reactions yet.
I'm fine.
Okay, this is to treat minor body aches, fever, headache, nasal congestion, sinus pressure.
Yeah, I think I check all those boxes.
So it says that it should reduce the swelling of the nasal passages.
Oh, wait.
Do you think? Is it working?
It's already working.
Well, that's great. Look at you. You're doing so much better. If you open it up, there's so much more here.
Don't open that.
All right, look. Do you have
Stop it.
Stomach bleeding warning? Your stomach could bleed.
I think that's if you take too much.
Okay, stop use and ask doctor if pain gets worse, if you feel faint, if you vomit blood. Okay? Have stomach pain that does not get better. And
these are just the warnings they have to tell everybody for everything.
There's so many warnings. It's a fold out.
It's a fold out. It's a pamphlet.
It's a fold out of warnings right there. One more question.
Yes.
Does taking an Advil, does that mean that you just broke your fast?
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
I was wondering about it, for the cough medicine or cough drops, because I do intermittent fasting and it has sugar in it, but I don't think this does.
Yeah.
If not, I don't care. My head hurts.
Oh, there's our attitude.
My head hurts.
There's our attitude. You want putting your well-being before your well-being.
How How could I?
What are you doing? It's all
I'm
falling.
going to go get some more water.
It's all falling apart. No, bone broth. You
have that too.
You do a nasal rinse with bone broth. I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do.
I'm sure that'll fix it.
It's perfect.
Oh, wow. I'm really glad that our 4th of July days off are over
Me
and I
too.
can come back for a nice full week of this while not feeling 100%.
You know what? You would have just been taking that all willy-nilly. I'm here to help you make informed decisions
so
about your health care.
I can be safe. I can be fine.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So, can I just go ahead and I have to confess, I haven't had anybody to confess to for a couple of days, and I got to get it all out.
We've been off, and now we're back, so that's what everybody's here for.
All right, here's the deal. I talked a big game last week about a video game that I was thinking about buying, so I went and bought it. And I was all excited about playing it on our time off and all this kind of stuff.
Was this the
Ni no Kuni 2?
Yeah, it looked really interesting.
It's a weird looking, if you're familiar with any of the Studio Ghibli, or is it Ghibli? I don't know. Those guys, it looks like that. And so I was all excited to play it, so I bought it.
And it's been out, but it was on sale. But it was on sale for like $30. Just shows you like how still in demand it is.
Yeah, like so I went and I got it. And woo!
And nothing.
It's wrapped up in plastic in a bag in my car.
You didn't even bring it in?
Didn't even bring it in.
It hasn't even had a chance to get like used to the weather in your house?
No, nothing.
It's still stuck outside.
Here's what's so dumb about it. I did that. I didn't spend very much money, only like I think $8, but I bought a couple of games in the Steam sale and I played those for a couple minutes, but I spent the majority of my time off when I was playing games playing Far Cry 5. And this is the worst part, and please, everyone hate me freely, but it's a game I beat like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I got together to play with friends, and I ended up buying it again. I had it for the PC, but I bought it for the Xbox, and that's what I spent all my game time doing. Playing a game I'd already played and buying a game again.
A second time.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You know, it's we support everybody here.
Not everybody.
We still
not
support
all their
you.
actions.
We do.
The person, not the actions.
No, we still support you as a human being, and I'm glad you were enjoying something enough. But, we just wonder about the choices.
Dude, I'll have to say this.
You talked about all those sale games that you wanted, and then you didn't even play them.
I didn't even buy them.
Yeah.
I bought like 2 out of the 15 that I had on my wish list because I was like, man, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. So I barely bought anything in the Steam sale. I think I may have bought 4 games. But again, that was all gift card stuff. I spent cash money on Far Cry 5. But I will say this. As much as I hated the story in that game, and I'm past not liking it, I'm into full-on hating it. Playing that game co-op with a friend is some of the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
The stuff that we were doing. We got, what is that, a combine? Those things they use in the fields on a farm? We took one of those and driving it around, and I just stood on top of it with a shotgun with fire bullets, and we were just setting stuff on fire.
Having a day.
Chasing cows.
Really? Oh, no wonder you love this. That's some good gameplay.
Shooting bears.
Really? Come on now.
Nikki, you have to.
You know you don't.
They had
Is that the cheeseburger game?
Yes.
Wow.
It was a diseased bear. It had to be put down.
No, there was still a chance.
No, the guy actually told me, he's like, normally we'd catch and release these bears, but because they're on that drug, they've got to be put down. So I had to go out there and put them down with the combine and the fire bullets.
That's how you choose to do it. I think I'm more disappointed once you explain how you were playing the game.
I laughed so hard. That was a ton of fun. Just playing together that game co-op. It amazed me. That was like a totally different game because we just kept screwing around.
Yeah.
That was so fun. And it actually made it worth buying it again. That was worth it. But just on the surface, I'm still ashamed of myself. And I had to come and tell you guys because I want you guys to hate me as much as I hate myself.
Well, this is his healing process.
Yeah, I'm getting it out.
Now that has started.
All right.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
Remember this story about the guy who was 25, but he was pretending to be a sophomore in high school so he could go back and play basketball.
Yes, I do, even though there's been a couple.
There is more than one.
This is not like this is the only story, but I do remember that guy.
Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley. He has 4 names.
That's the reason to be suspicious alone.
He has 4 names. So, okay, he went back and he did. He posed as a sophomore in high school. Now, one of the things that happened was he claimed that he was a refugee of a hurricane, and as a result, he didn't have any documentation.
So the school did not need to require him to show proof of his age or basically his identity.
In emergency situations, they will let people enroll under those kinds of circumstances because, hey, you know, you've already been displaced. Like, you need to be able to continue your education.
So this
guy, helped him out.
That's why the guy with 4 names was lying about his age.
He was having a fantastic year in high school basketball, being 25 and all. So what ended up happening, it all fell apart because his former coach recognized him.
From a story?
It was either at the game or on TV or in there was something that happened and he was like, oh my gosh, that's Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley. And
then it unravels.
The
like
ball
most
started to roll.
It
was one little thread that they picked at, and pretty soon there was no sweater.
And before you know it, he's got nothing.
So he was in trouble for the first time he got arrested was for tampering with government records because he was lying about whatever. But see, now he's been arrested again because he had a 14-year-old girlfriend while he was being this sophomore.
Now, if you were actually a sophomore in high school, that would be fine. No problem.
Because you'd be 14 or 15 too.
But as the 25-year-old who's lying about his age, no.
He was arrested for child indecency. They kissed. That was all. But apparently, I don't know exactly how the law works. But that's not working. So
he's been taken for that too?
He's out on that.
I don't know why you think you could lie and that one not be found out. That's such a big lie.
My thought was, like, with the basketball thing and all that stuff, fine. But, like, dude, like, come on. She's 14. You're 25.
He got probably caught up in the whole sophomore lie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, high school's a lie anyway. You just get caught up.
This is a different lie.
This
is a real lie.
It's happened to all of us, right? We know the truth, but we're out there. We get caught up in the moment. The commercialism of high school. I totally get it.
And did he ever acknowledge, like, why he wanted to go back? Because in the movie world, it'd be, he couldn't make it as the 25-year-old, and he wanted to go back when you become the better basketball player because you are older. So, you probably have a little bit more on them.
The only thing that they say is that it was that he wanted to play basketball again.
That was it.
So, and he was the, top scoring, star player on his basketball team that year. Which, in fairness, I don't know what it's like to be good at any sport ever. I don't know. I don't have the slightest clue what that's like, but many times I have thought, man, it would be great to do high school again because now I know what to do.
Yeah.
I could easily succeed in high school. And man, I'll just tell you right now, if you have not yet graduated, but for those of us that have, in high school, if you do well, they just heap praise on you all the time. Like, here's an award, you're doing great, here's an A, bring your A's to Chuck E. Cheese for free tokens, all that stuff that you get as an adult. No, the adult world is all negative. You're only ever in trouble. You don't get a bonus for showing up, you get in trouble for not showing up. You don't get congratulated on doing well, you only get punished for doing poorly. That's the reality of the adult world.
No wonder.
So this guy's like, forget that noise. I'm playing basketball.
Where he was congratulated and one of the best.
And celebrated for his abilities. Man, I'd love to be celebrated. Can somebody tell me where I can get some of that without going back to high school illegally?
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from Mickey D's. The worst of the riot on Radio U.
So we know that most of the major airlines basically just want to kill your dog. That's just what they do. Bring your dog on board, they'll kill him for you.
There's not been a lot of positive news stories about the safety when you travel with a pet.
There hasn't been.
And a lot of people want to travel with their pets nowadays.
But Nikki, there's one good story. Did you see it?
I saw the pictures of it. The little bulldog.
Mm-hmm. A JetBlue flight from Florida to Worcester. I can't say it.
Worcester?
Let's just say Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, which is hard enough, too.
Mm-hmm. So Michelle and Stephen Burt were making that flight with their French bulldog, Darcy, who began to have trouble breathing. So the cabin crew...
And the dog was in the cabin then?
Mm-hmm. Cabin crew noticed that the dog was having a hard time breathing, so they went ahead and dropped one of the oxygen masks.
Which you're supposed to put on
yourself first.
Yourself first, and then I guess your French bulldog.
So they went ahead and they gave the French bulldog the oxygen. Michelle and Steven are convinced that they saved Darcy's life.
Aw, so the dog made it.
Imagine
the airline should be very proud.
JetBlue should be out there like, yeah, that's JetBlue, not United, not Delta. JetBlue. We saved a dog. And they did. So they noticed that her tongue was blue, and that's a sign of hypoxia. So they pulled her out from under the seat, put her on her lap, and gave her some oxygen.
And she was able to live.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
So that would be Renaud and Diane, who are the crew members that worked for JetBlue and saved the doggy's life.
Very cute.
Mm-hmm. So they say that the dog is home, happy, and chasing squirrels. She's doing just great.
I've never brought a dog on the plane in the cabin itself. My dog's always been, I think, 2 or 3 pounds over the weight limit for underneath, and I've not been able to get him to diet. It's he can't get underweight.
This story is great until you hear the statement that came from JetBlue.
What was the statement?
Are you ready for this? Does
this ruin this whole thing?
Our mission is to inspire humanity.
Oh, guys, it's a bit dramatic.
That's not your mission. Your mission as a company is to get me from A to B alive with my animals alive.
And maybe not take all the money in the process.
Inspire humanity.
Someone got a little wordsy right there.
Hey, guys, just a little over the top.
Yeah.
Our mission is to inspire humanity, and we're very proud of those outstanding crew members who consistently demonstrate a passion for excellent customer service. Now, the flip side of this is that they started out with the mission to inspire humanity, and they did save a dog's life.
They did that.
Maybe, Nikki, their pretentious, far-reaching mission statement is what was necessary. They had to have that kind of vision in order to enable people to, save a dog.
Sure.
So, I guess if that's what it takes.
I liked it more before you told me what their statement was. I feel like that's a bit much.
Oh, man. Inspire humanity. It's fine. But you know what? Again, the dog lived.
Thankfully, the dog made it.
A lot of other companies, they're like, look, your
Put
dog's...
him in the cabin thing or the overhead.
Your dog's dead, but you made it, so whatever.
The Riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the Riot.
I didn't sleep very well at all last night.
Too excited to come back to work?
That's what it was, for sure. Actually, I think it's a combination of, one, I got used to the good life.
Sure.
Where I was sleeping until 8, 9 o'clock.
We had a couple of days off last week, and so now this is a real eye-opener when you're back and early to our early schedule.
Yeah. The other thing that I think I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to buy an alarm clock.
What do you mean?
Well, for my alarm clock died that I've had since forever. And
I thought you used your tablet then.
I have been, but something inside me doesn't trust it. I wake up several times a night and I grab it to make sure that I've set the alarm on it. Something inside me is just sure that I haven't set the alarm and it's not going to go off and whatever. And I mean, of course, everybody's done that before with an alarm clock, but I hit a point where it was no, it's fine. I know I can trust it. I know it will wake me up.
But I think you had your trust in that one, that particular alarm clock, and it'll take you a while to develop trust again.
So
you had a connection with whichever was your little alarm clock.
Yeah. So you're telling me that.
So now your tablet's different,
I just have to keep...
and if you buy a new one, you still won't have trust in it.
I don't know.
Because I'd have more trust in a tablet than I would an actual
one would
plug
think
in
so,
the alarm
right?
clock. Yeah.
One would think so.
I mean, I've used my phone forever.
But I can't get myself to just
be comfortable,
let go and let alarm. I just can't. Like I last night, I'm serious. In fact,
is that like one of those posters?
Yes.
Like live life, let alarm.
Let alarm. Yesterday, I set I'm not kidding. Like I was so paranoid about oversleeping because my roommates are gone. They're on vacation and I'm all by myself. And I'm just like, I can't oversleep. I can't. I set the alarm on my phone.
Yeah.
I set the alarm on my tablet. And I swear to you, every hour
You're still
I was
waking
like,
up.
all right, it's 1:00. It's all right. Haven't overslept. Back to sleep. Okay, it's 1:10. It's all right. Haven't overslept.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm just
it's
afraid you would do that.
1:28. Haven't overslept.
This is something wrong that you need to reprogram in your body.
Oh, now it's
personal.
my fault.
It's not the tablet's fault. It's not the alarm clock's fault.
I know, but I thought maybe if I would just go ahead and buy another one, then it would be like, okay, it's done.
What, do you want to buy the same one? Can you find it?
No, there's no chance. It left me, Nikki. I needed it, and it left me.
Well, I mean, you had it for a while.
Oh, crap. I don't know what to do, but I do know this. I don't want to keep doing this.
You don't want to keep waking up?
I don't want to live like this anymore.
Maybe you need to take some of the nighttime medicine, the sleeping one.
Oh, see,
or
Nikki,
the melatonin?
Nikki starts taking the Advil, and now it's a pill for everything.
Well, maybe just for a few days.
Maybe.
To get you back into that sleep, or a warm glass of hot milk.
I just can't.
Right before bed.
I just can't trust it. I need something. I need something to help me. Help me, somebody help me. I don't know. I just know that if I check my alarm one more time,
you're going to go crazy.
I'm going to lose my mind on that thing.
But you'll be up on time.
But, the important thing is that I get here for the show. It's not important that
Why don't you just relax knowing if you're late, I'll call and wake you up. It's no big deal.
But it is a big deal. I have to be here.
You've never been late like that.
I know.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot. But let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
I love peanut butter a lot. It's an important part of my life. It's not just something where you're like, hey, peanut butter is one thing in the middle of a lot of other things. It's a staple. It's one of those things that I have to have it. So, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's not just, though. I feel like peanut butter and like items like a peanut butter cup or almond butter.
Sure.
You seem to like nuts ground up into some sort of paste.
Yes, I do.
And occasionally dipped in chocolate.
Side note, I'm out of almond butter. I have to go get some today.
You do? Okay.
Almond butter and lawn bags, but that's a story for another time. So
lawn bags?
Yeah, they sell those at Costco too.
Oh, the paper bags?
Yeah. So I was like, I actually thought, well, I should buy those. I'm not buying them. I know. I'll walk past them. Then I'll go home and need them. That's the way to do it.
Well, you got a plan today.
That's how I do it. So, where were we?
Peanut butter.
Yeah. So, when you're like me and you eat peanut butter, you eat peanut butter in quantity. Okay. I don't eat. It's not like, what? I'll get this little container. I don't even know what they sell those for. Those little 4-ounce things of peanut butter. That's like a single serving of peanut butter. Nobody's going to eat that.
But not everybody likes that much.
I need a lot. And so I go and I do buy my peanut butter at Costco because it's not just that they will sell you like a big container. They sell you 2 big containers shrink wrapped together. And I'm like, yes, I need the price break. I need the buying power of this large organization to drop the price of this peanut butter so that I can afford to maintain my peanut butter habit. But I also have a problem. And it's a problem that somebody that loves peanut butter like I do
will understand.
And buys it in quantities that I do will understand, is that when you've got a huge jar of peanut butter, everything's great at the beginning. It's like a relationship. It's so great in the beginning. But then when you get down into the middle of it, it's just messy. Because what happens is you get to the point where you have the knife and you have to reach your hand down into the peanut butter. And it could be that I have a fat hand, and I can accept that. That's fine. But when I'm taking my knife down into the peanut butter jar,
to start scraping it out,
and then I start pulling it out, then I've got peanut butter on the side of my hands. It gets in weird places on the knife. It's bad, Nikki.
Maybe
it's really bad.
Peanut butter companies assume you'd be happy to have that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I just go ahead and lick it right off my hand.
Just rub it on the bread.
That's a great idea.
Never thought to do that.
Hey, man, I save peanut butter. Like when everyone else would be like, there's no more peanut butter. I just get out a spatula and you just and there's a ton of peanut butter there.
Sure.
You scrape it off the sides. So I started thinking last night, okay, maybe when I get to the halfway point, I get that spatula in there and scrape it off the sides and get the top half of the jar clean, and then I won't be so dirty when I'm reaching in. But then it's still going to be a problem at the top of the jar, because if you have a little peanut butter left after your spread, sometimes you wipe it on the top of the jar.
So it'll always be there.
So it'll be there. And like I end up with this filthy peanut butter hand, and it drives me crazy.
Maybe that's why you always smell like peanut butter.
Oh, do I?
Oh,
that's wonderful.
When you used to have it for breakfast a lot, you always did.
Yeah.
Almost like a cologne.
It's fantastic. I didn't even know
Like
that
a
about
body
myself.
spray? Yeah,
that's
you always
great.
did.
That's great. That makes me want to go back to eating peanut butter toast.
Then he stopped having peanut butter toast, and then the scent was gone.
It's like, oh, is he even here? I don't even know.
I couldn't tell you were around.
That's amazing. Wow, I didn't know that about myself.
Well,
fantastic.
Because you were always, making it. It was warm toast, and then that really brings out that smell, and I could always tell when you were coming.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You know what they need is, come on. They got it on Mountain Dew cans. They got it on Budweiser cans. They got that wide mouth. I need a wide mouth peanut butter jar.
Maybe there is one. What's it?
A peanut butter jar that's larger at the top.
Yeah.
So that you can reach your hand down in there and get the peanut butter.
And goes in on the bottom, but then it's not
Jeff.
structurally sound.
Yeah, it is. You give it a good base. It can still be wide at the top as long as it's got a good foundation right there.
You'll never get to the bottom then. Think it through more.
Don't worry. I'll get there.
You'll figure it out.
Don't you worry about it. In the meantime, I got sticky peanut butter hand. And think about the tiny bits of peanut butter that are getting wasted each time I reach in. That is not maximizing my peanut butter potential.
That's losing out.
My PBP.
If you're looking for a peaceful start to your morning, you should look somewhere else. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Joining us in the studio this morning,
Yay!
Des.
In person.
Thanks
Good
for having
morning,
us.
guys.
Morning.
So, you guys look awake-ish?
Ish is the right way to put it.
Yeah, okay.
We don't want to be rude and say, boy, you look tired. But no, you actually look pretty awake.
Yeah. So we played in Illinois last night, just south of Chicago, and left there about midnight and drove 5 hours. Got here about 6 a.m. Slept for an hour. And now we're here.
We are here.
Yay!
Wow.
Here-ish. Yeah.
Okay, so real talk, like somebody did the driving and some of you guys did the sleeping.
So Josh and I think, streamed the entire discography of Coldplay, all the albums.
As your listening choice for the drive.
We just did some throwback, to the old teenage days.
Okay, so Josh, raise your hand so some people can see you. He's the one who was like, oh, that's right, there's two Joshes.
There's 2 Joshes in the van.
There's 2 Joshes.
The Josh that drove.
Yeah. So do you guys have like a 2-man rule when it comes to the overnight drive?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You have to. So
you got to have a co-pilot.
Well, we were nervous, a band that we play, I won't say who, but, they were telling us about their program that they do when they have to do overnights, and they have one who usually is a designated driver and someone else who will make sure that person stays awake. But this one always liked to drive, and so he would watch movies while he was driving.
What the
and
heck?
when we were like, no, we're like, don't tell us this. Please don't tell us this.
Wait, Josh, that seemed a little dramatic.
Yeah.
That seemed like the kind of dramatic to me that might be we would never
do such a thing.
Here's the way we've got our van set up. Basically, the guys in the back have an N64 with Super Smash Brothers set up. So, we kind of switch it out tournament style. And if you're driving, you don't get to participate. But
I hope not. But who am I to judge people based on what they're doing?
Right. That's right.
So do you guys have like a designated overnight driver? Or is it always Josh, or you guys really do draw straws or what?
No, we kind of just planned it out. I've been doing a lot of our night driving, but it's only been maybe an hour or so after our show.
Sure.
Okay.
So that last night was just a really, really big leg. So because we're going home today.
Oh, okay. So
we'll
after today, you guys are done for a while.
Yeah, we're done. We're done for a while after today. So we're finishing it up here with you guys and heading home. So
So how far away is home?
Probably about
that's
8
the
hours.
bigger drive.
Yeah, probably about 8 hours.
Now, so then will you guys take a nap or something after this, or will you guys just drive straight home?
So our wives are with us, and they didn't do the show last night. They stayed at the hotel, and so
they're fine to
They're
drive.
well rested, and so
Yeah.
we might just pass out on top of each other in the back of the
Sure.
van and ride home like that.
That sounds disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably would be.
Whatever, dude. You guys know that when you're out on the road, it's just like, whatever.
Just someone drive, will you?
It's true. It's
Whatever.
Really bad.
Well,
At
this
least we
is
got to shower.
Dens, by the way, hanging out in studio. If you want to join us at Radio U or Radio U Ride on Facebook, you can actually watch them while you're listening to them.
Yeah, you can. So you guys played last night. How long have you been out on tour?
I was talking to Josh. It feels like we've been on tour for a month, but it's only been like
Is it
5
the
days.
Has it been 2 days?
The people you're touring with, it's rough.
Yeah, I tell you.
This stretch only like 5 or 6 days. something
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, only a couple days.
Okay. So what, like, is that pretty normal? You guys do like a week, or you guys find yourself out for longer stretches?
Yeah, right now we just try to be strategic with what we do. We want it to be sustainable, and not get completely burnt out. So we try to space it out and do some strategic things here and there. Try to hit some of the festivals when we can.
that being said, if Thrice wanted to go on tour with us for a month,
Yeah, sure.
I think we could make that happen.
Okay,
Make it
you
work.
are willing.
Yeah.
If the right group is asking you.
That being said,
Okay.
While we've done all this talking about, the travel and stuff like that, who's the worst person to travel with in the van?
Oh my goodness,
Brandon.
Oh, you knew
No,
it.
when all else
Brandon.
fails, like when you can't think of the answer, just blame it on
Hey,
Brandon.
Brandon? Okay.
he's that guy. Every man has one.
He's the designated
He is.
scapegoat?
Oh,
Yep.
big time.
Yeah, but give me the real reason why Brandon's the worst person to travel with.
I don't know. He looks like Buzz Lightyear with the beard.
Oh man.
I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all.
Well, let's be clear. That's a compliment
It is.
because Buzz Lightyear
He's pretty
is
incredible.
He's a $1 billion asset.
Yeah.
That's
right?
true.
That's kind of like Brandon with Dens. He's
the $1 billion asset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is it like real talk though about Brandon? Plug your ears. You don't want to know. Is it a BO thing, or does he snore real loud? Like
He does
what's
snore.
the problem?
He asks a lot of questions.
In his sleep or
Yes,
just
he does.
all
Yes,
the time?
He buys
Yes, all the
sunglasses
time.
in every city we
It
go
is
to.
an ongoing joke. Like it's become such a joke that it's predictably funny.
No,
Because
we'll hide his sunglasses just so he buys more.
Oh, because he. Well, you guys seem
Hey guys, where are my
supportive.
sunglasses? I don't know.
I am for sure the loudest one and the
He's okay.
most extroverted one.
Yeah.
So
Aw.
I do talk a lot, and
And he
It sounds
loses
like
his
you.
glasses a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, like for me, I used to leave. I had a clipboard that I had to take with us to all these different places we went. I left the clipboard everywhere.
Nice.
Everywhere.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I had to run.
Let's be honest. Nikki hid that from me. a few
yeah.
times.
In this particular case, Nikki was not with me, and I had to literally run, 15 city blocks across New York City to pick up the clipboard that I'd left in Times Square.
When it was just a clipboard, I mean.
It had the times on it. I needed that clipboard. I needed it.
He needed the details on
I
it.
had to have that clipboard.
Listen, it's still upsetting to him.
It's just one among many things, right?
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
Do you not want to cut off their own phone with a minute? It is the riot.
They're right
Dennis is
here, and you're talking over their song. Are you embarrassed right now?
At the end of the song, we never know, like, should we talk over? Like, we don't want to just walk all over you guys at the end. So now that you're here, it's
But
like, well,
apparently,
you should do that.
Nikki's not afraid to do that. How do you feel about Nikki talking over the end of your
Totally
song?
fine
I think we
with
can
it.
forgive her.
Okay, good.
We'll lay hands later.
Help with my cold. You don't want to come anywhere near me.
If you want to know the truth, Nikki, I actually thought, like, at least let's not do it while they're here.
Oh, sure. Later.
At least not while they're here. And you were like, hey, it's the riot. I'm talking over days, and it don't matter.
Because they're fine with it.
They're here.
If you want to desecrate a hymn, that's your prerogative. But
it's fine, whatever.
Well, it's nice to have you guys in. They took a long drive last night, made it in time, and are here before they head home from tour.
And I'm going to be yawning more than you guys are. You guys are surprisingly cogent and awake. Like, I'm ready to take a nap right now.
Yeah, it's the coffee, man.
Yeah, right on.
all
Did you
about
guys-
the coffee.
Where'd you guys stop for coffee?
We got at the hotel.
Okay, all right.
They were
Now,
kind enough to give it to me.
so some bands, like I see, like their coffee game is serious. They take their own coffee maker on the road with them and stuff. Is that
Brandon? Yeah, Brandon's coming
Brandon's
back.
Brandon, lean into that mic right there and tell me about your coffee game. What kind of coffee do you brew there in the van?
Actually, so I have some roast from a local roastery right in our hometown.
Okay.
I don't know if I can drop the name, but it's Legacy Roasting Company, and so I just brought a dark roast. I got a kettle out there.
Okay.
I've got the French press. It's actually it's metal, so it can't get broken in the van. Throwing stuff around and
True story. It blew the fuse.
It totally blew the fuse.
Blew the fuse in the van.
Well, it's those things you got to work out before you have your system set up.
Well, here's the thing: when you run the 64 and the
kettle,
it becomes a problem really quickly.
No touring vehicle could handle all that power.
Yeah, but I give you guys full credit for the comforts of home.
It's true.
On the road.
For life is real.
Yeah. So okay, why the Nintendo 64? Why not the GameCube?
And we're old school, man. We are
okay.
old school. Super Smash Brothers is where it's at.
Is that your game?
Yeah.
Well, we're so old school. Why didn't you bring your Atari?
Yeah, it's before my time. And it doesn't have Smash Brothers. So.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the
don't you guys get motion sickness if you're playing while you're driving?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, but you still just play through
That's
it?
a sacrifice you're willing to make.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, or you just take some Dramamine and hope for the best, fall asleep in the middle of your game, whatever.
This is true.
Okay, what about
every promoter's they always come in and they throw up right when they get out of their vehicle. We have no idea why.
High maintenance. Yeah. What can I say?
So what about the new Smash Brothers they announced?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. Have those fancy consoles.
Okay.
Actually, somebody wanted to trade us a PS4
for a copy of the record.
For a copy of our record.
Well, did you guys do that?
He's in Texas.
So I'll just tell you right now, if I were you guys, I'd be like, listen, address, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Time to upgrade.
We
you're
will
out there and
count
you're
that
listening.
as a donation to the band.
This is true.
And trade for the new album.
I like the way you think, Nikki.
Yeah, the EP, which is out and available now.
Yeah, so it's only been a week and a half or so since the album came out. How's that going?
Going great. Yeah.
It's PS4 material, so it's worth it.
It's certainly worth that much. So, you guys said that you had been working on it a long time up until release. How long had it been sitting there waiting?
So it was complete in mid-March. So
okay.
We kind of been
But we had been working on it for a long time. This is the album that we always wanted to write and just never sort of got around to doing it.
Yeah, honestly, the concept of the album is, 6-7 years old.
Yeah,
the concept for this, and this was the right time to do the concept.
Yeah,
and but we started writing the songs over probably the past 2 years.
Yeah, so shameless plug. The concept is Jonah. So each chapter of the book of Jonah has its own song. And
so when people are like, "Hey, why isn't it 5 songs?" It's like, well, have to talk to the Lord on that.
Yeah, well, that's not how
Jonah
that was
didn't write
set
the 5th
up.
chapter, so we didn't write the 5th song. Yeah.
Yep. So
okay.
Dead Rises chapter 1.
Yep.
Wow, that's really cool. So, all right, I actually did not know that about the EP. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, that'll give me some fresh ears to listen to it. And, of course, I'm sure you guys would like for me to maybe pick it up somewhere like shop.radiou.com.
If you're interested in the new Dens project, the EP is available there.
Cool. Yep. So from here, you guys are... No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No.
iTunes, facedownrecords.com, dinsnoise.com.
Yeah. Actually, so one of the things I was going to say as well, with the working with Jason and Face Down, and the actual physical copy of the record, whether it's the vinyl or the CD version, we actually did a commentary along with the record. So if you buy the physical version, you actually get a commentary that we wrote to go along with each song and each chapter of the book of Jonah.
That's an awesome idea.
Is it physically written out inside the?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, that's cool.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And our old record is the same way. We have like an online. You can kind of go through. It's kind of like almost like a devotional type thing.
It's a devotional, but it's also thoughts about what the song is about, and it just kind of takes people
behind the
through.
scenes with it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. All right. So you guys from here are headed home.
We are.
And then you've got a break. What's the rest of the summer look like for you?
Oh, man. We might be...
Got some new music we're working toward.
Yeah. We might be working on maybe some video stuff. or something along those lines.
Music video, and we're trying to solidify some dates, and so we can't really announce some things there until we solidify some things.
Yeah,
but,
early September, we're doing a festival in Lynchburg, Virginia, and we're coming out to Indiana to Pit Fest, yeah, to play that in September, and then thinking about trying to put some stuff together down south for maybe early November.
Yeah,
not with the early November, but in early
That's
November.
fair.
Just
That's
to be
fair.
clear.
Good to clarify.
But,
we totally would.
If they and Thrice
wanted to go on tour for a month,
yeah,
we would not
think
say
about it. We
no.
would consider that. I would consider,
Yeah.
And then I would be like, yeah.
All right, so best way to keep up with what's going on with Dens. You guys tweet a lot, or you Facebook a lot? Where should I go to make sure that I know what's happening?
Yeah, so you can do Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff online on our website. It's all Dens Noise. So if you just remember Dens Noise, you can
It's
find
on everything. Gotcha.
All right, well, guys, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
taking
much
time
for
to hang out
coming.
with us.
Thank you for having us.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you so much for having us.
Cool.
Love
Well, you guys get some sleep.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Well, now that I've had coffee,
Now you're going to be wide awake.
He's good for at least another 20 minutes.
Yeah, just another 20 minutes.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I'm comfortable with the idea of being as good as your wife.